What is up guys, Zach here from the Chaos Galaxy, and today I'm very excited to be giving you guys the first look at the archetype, the main archetype for the Sindell starter deck, which should be, I'm aiming for it to be released in March. So today we're going to look at the Ghatomic archetype, which is a really interesting set of cards. Very excited to show you guys what they do in a sec, but before we get started, if you want to support the channel by getting your hands on some Chaos Galaxy cards, there'll be a link to the online store in the description below. Also, giving my homemade TCG shout out this week to Doodles Ninja 330. Got a really cool TCG called Match Battlers. He's got some really nice hand-drawn card designs, really great bright colours, some nice booster packs that he's made, some foil cards, which is really interesting to see. You don't see that a lot in homemade trading card games. Really good, consistent uploading, and a lot of really nice kind of unique content. And he's definitely going to go far if he keeps up with his game. So Doodles Ninja 330 with the TCG Match Battlers. Go and check him out. There'll be a link at the top of the description below. So I'll get on with this archetype. Now, the first thing I hear you saying is, Zach, this is supposed to be a Sindell archetype, but the main card in the archetype is actually a Sindian creature. I'm really enjoying toying with this good and evil balance in the Sindian Sindell decks. So combining the two planets is just something I'm messing around with. But the archetype is called the Ghatomic archetype. I'll show you all the cards in a sec, but basically it's based around this innocent Sindian creature called Gi, and upon entering the planet Sindell, he can mutate and transform into a group of terrifying Sindell creatures called the Ghatomic creatures, which are kind of nuclear radioactive mutants that Gi turns into. And when Gi turns into one of these creatures, he gets some very powerful abilities and stats boosts. So Gi is the main card of the archetype, really. He's got 10 power, 130 health, and his ability reads, when this zoned creature is killed by your opponent, so that's either by an attack or a card ability, you can free play one-handed Ghatomic creature. So this is something you're definitely going to want to happen. When your Gi is killed, you get to play a Ghatomic creature from your hand. And the first of those Ghatomic creatures is here, Ghatomic Gokka. As you can see, there's this evil-looking mutant bursting out of an innocent-looking Sindian creature there. Quite gruesome-looking cards I've designed here, I think. But Ghatomic Gokka is a 4-star Sindell creature. Every other card in the archetype is Sindell, so if you're not a fan of the kind of Sindian planet, then don't worry. Ghatomic Gokka has 140 power, 210 health, and his ability reads, if this creature is free-played by the ability of Gi, you must kill one of either player's zoned creatures. So your Gi is killed by an opponent's attack, let's say. Gi dies, you get to free play a Gokka from your hand. Gokka's ability can kill the creature that killed Gi. Simple as. The only drawback of this guy is that you must kill a card. So if your Gi was killed by like a card ability, let's say, you free play your Gokka. If your opponent doesn't have any creatures, the Gokka will have to kill himself. So you've got to play this guy at the right time, but I can't see that ability going wrong much. As long as you're wise about when you play him. So Gokka is the first card of the archetype. I'll put the Ghatomics to the side there. The next Ghatomic we have is Ghatomic Goopadoop. He's another Sindell creature with 80 power and a whopping 260 health, which is great for a 4-star. His ability reads, once again, if this creature is free played by the ability of Gi, it permanently gains 70 health. So that bumps him up to a huge 330 health. That's stronger than a Deh. For a 4-star creature, if you guys know Deh, he's a very strong card. So that's the second Ghatomic creature. Oh, also, all these abilities, I want to keep them kind of the same as they are, but as the decks haven't been released yet, if you guys spot some like broken combos or you think the cards are too good or too bad, they will be kind of subject to change from now on. So none of this is set in stone, although I definitely know that this is the direction the archetype will be going in when I release the starter decks. Next up, I think I'm ready to show you guys the boss monster. So the head honcho of the Ghatomic mutant army is Ghatomic Gi himself. He's an 8-star Sindell creature, 360 power, 420 health with 8 stars, which are already good stats. I'm a big fan of his artwork. He looks very kind of graphic and gruesome, which was really what I was going for. This is a Sindell card, really rare, and his ability is, if he is free played by the ability of Gi, he permanently gains 140 power, so he goes up to 500 power, 420 health. That's just an all-round beast. You use an ability like that, he's stronger than any other starter deck card I've released for the game. and he's the strongest Sindell card that can be free played by far. So if you bring this out with the ability of Gi, he's going to be super powerful. But if not, you can just play him as a really good 8-star boss monster. Next up, this is maybe the best ability out of all the Ghatomic cards. It's Ghatomic Gonk. He's got 130 power and 130 health, which isn't great for a 4-star. However, his ability reads, if this creature is free played by the ability of Gi, you can add one of your killed activator cards to your hand. Now, that's really good because there's an activator card in this archetype, which I'll show you later in the video. But apart from that, activator cards are just great. You can add a Beast of the Black Hole, arguably the best card in the game, back to your hand. You can add something like the Lost Probe, which lets you add a creature that isn't from your planet, from your galaxy to your hand, which is perfect for searching out Gi, because obviously all these cards are from the planet Sindell, which is probably the planet card you'll be using. And that would mean Gi isn't from your planet card, so Lost Probe can get Gi to your hand, and you can pull off more Ghatomic combos. So I think Ghatomic Gonk is going to be one of the best cards of the archetype. It can be used really well for like stopping your opponent with activator cards, or kind of doing creative plays and getting more of your Gis killed, so you can bring out more of your Ghatomic guys. Next up, another really good Ghatomic. This is the final Ghatomic creature. And one of the best. He really adds some consistency to the deck. His name is Ghatomic Gokka. Oh no, right, that's wrong. I've accidentally called two different cards Gokka. Hold on, I can't remember the purple. This dude had a different name. Give me a sec. Do you know what? I've just checked. I haven't even given him a name. That's just me being an idiot and calling two cards by the exact same name. Comment down below if you have a good idea for this guy's name. Because I don't, apparently. Yeah, let me know what this guy should be called. We'll just call him for now the 6-star Ghatomic card. With 6 stars, 260 power, 220 health, he's going to be a rare in the new starter deck, and he just adds a bit of consistency to the deck. So, he's slightly different to the other Ghatomic cards. If he's cosplayed, you can add one Gi from your galaxy to your hand, which is really good. Obviously, getting Gi to your hand is going to be the key part of this deck. Also, if he's free played by the ability of Gi, you draw one card. So if you don't have a Gi, you can cosplay Gokka, get that Gi to your hand. If you've got a Gi already, free play Gokka, and then draw a card. Probably definitely be a 2 of in the new upcoming deck. So they're all the Ghatomic creatures for now. I'm a really big fan of the way the artworks came out. And now we're going to get onto the support cards for the archetype. So first up, we've got the home of the Ghatomic cards. We've got the Ghatomic Wasteland. I'll dive into the lore a bit here. This is on the planet Sindell, obviously, and if you see this edge here, this is the edge of the planet Sindell, where the planets Sindian and Sindell split in the middle. After the dust cleared from the explosion that caused the two planets to split in half, there was kind of radioactive fallout, which caused forests and things to mutate. Buildings obviously destroyed, and whole civilizations were kind of crumbled instantly. But the radiation after this left any unwitting creature, like a Gi here, wandering into the forest, causes it to mutate into one of the Ghatomic creatures. So this is Ghatomic Wasteland, a permanent resource, and it reads, whenever a Gi on your planet is killed, you can pay 2 stars to shuffle it back into your galaxy. So this just gives you never-ending Gis, because if you've only got 2 Gis and a whole lot of Ghatomic creatures, you're only going to be able to use 2 of their abilities. So Ghatomic Wasteland lets you constantly recycle your Gis, so you can use them and use them over and over and over, and keep getting those Ghatomic abilities off, which is so good. So that's the first part of its ability. The second part reads, when a Ghatomic creature is free played by the ability of Gi, that creature permanently gains 50 power and health. So Ghatomic Wasteland is going to be a staple in a Gi deck. Cool. And then the final card we have here for the archetype is the activated card that I was talking about earlier in the video. And that card is simply called Go, with an H. And this reads, when you cosplay a Ghatomic creature, that's the activation time of this card. So when you cosplay a Ghatomic creature, you activate your Go, and then that Ghatomic creature is treated as if it were free played by the ability of Gi. So you cosplay a Gonk, activate your Go, and then you get Gonk's ability, you get to add one of your killed activators back to your hand. Unfortunately, if you do this instantly, you can't bring back the copy of Go that you just used, because it's still kind of on your planet as Gonk gets its ability, so you have to pick a kill card, get it back to your hand, and then the Go dies. Fortunately, my best kind of combo for this card, I think, is with the 6-star Ghatomic card, which is yet to be named, because you cosplay this card, get its ability to add a Gi from your Galaxy to your hand, and then you also play Go, and then from Got the 6 stars ability, you also get its ability as if it's free played by the ability of Gi, so you draw a card. Go has one final part of its ability, as well as the Ghatomic creature being treated as if it were free played by Gi. Also, your opponent cannot attach cards to it. So it's getting its ability and then becoming immune to attachment cards like KO, Ice Elixir, any of that dangerous stuff that your opponent is likely to attach to your powerful creatures. Combo this off with Ghatomic Gi is going to make a boss monster that's really hard to get past, so I think Go is going to be a fun little card that just boosts up the archetype a lot. Cool. So they're the cards that are directly part of the archetype. I'm going to go through a few support cards that are really going to help out the archetype. So the main thing about the Ghatomic archetype that could kind of let them down is the card Gi itself. Obviously, you need it in your hand to pull off a lot of your combos and make your cards better. So if you don't start a game with Gi in your hand, you might struggle a bit, which is a shame, but there's lots of ways around that. Probably the best way is the one thing I mentioned before, the activator card, the Lost Probe. When your turn begins, instead of drawing a card, you add a card from your Galaxy to your hand that isn't from your planet card. So obviously, if you're using Sindell, Gi is from Sindell, so you can add that straight to your hand. Another one, Emergency Escape Pod. When a creature on your planet is killed, you immediately place it back on top of your Galaxy. So a Gi is killed, you get to play one of your Ghatomic cards from your hand, play your Emergency Escape Pod, and then Gi goes straight back onto your Galaxy for you to play it and get more Ghatomic effects off next turn. Another one, Omniplanetary Ticket. After an opponent's creature attacks your planet, you free play one of either player's killed creatures with stars equal to the amount of points gained from that attack. So 2 points is quite a low common number that your opponent might be gaining from a lot of attacks, which means you get to free play a killed 2-star card, bringing back a Gi. And then one good ability is the Slush Machine card, a limited edition designed by Cameron Tompkins in set 2. When your opponent attacks a creature on your planet which has 10 power and or health, you add a creature with the same power or health stat from your Galaxy to your hand. So if something like a Slush with 10 power is killed, it's a Sindell card, it will have kind of good synergy with the deck. Because it's got 10 power, that will die, and then you get another creature with 10 power to your hand, like a Gi. So it'd be interesting to see what combos you guys come up with to get Gi to your hand as quickly as you possibly can. There are a lot of the good support cards for the archetype. Obviously there's a lot of direct Sindell support you're going to be wanting to use. Pelfam, for example, Armoured Heck Goat's another good one, and then Cerberam of Sindell, the Chaos Beast himself, is obviously going to fit into the deck very nicely. But these are just some more specific cards to help you get your Gi to your hand quickly. Finally, some cards to actually counter the deck if we find that Ghatomic Galaxies are too powerful and beating everyone. Here's some good cards to counter it. The first one, probably the best one, is Space Pit. You shuffle one zoned creature that has 3 stars or less back into your opponent's Galaxy. So if you're going up against the Gi, obviously you don't really want to kill that Gi, because if you kill it, they're going to be getting a Ghatomic card out and like a super powerful ability. Space Pit lets you shuffle that Gi back into their Galaxy, and if it's shuffled back in, it's not killed, so no Ghatomic ability. This also means that they have to go through some more resources to get that Gi back to their hand, play it again and try and get it killed once more. So Space Pit is probably Gi's worst nightmare. Next up, Mystical Relic Rainbow Quill. All the Mystical Relics actually, cards that shuffle things from your hand, from your opponent's hand back into their deck, is going to be really powerful. If your opponent plays a Gi, it means they're more than likely to have a Ghatomic card in their hand for when that Gi dies. They're going to have it ready to get its ability off. Whereas if you shuffle cards back into your opponent's Galaxy, they're not going to know what they'll have in their hand at the time the Gi dies. They might not even have a Ghatomic card to get that ability off. So if you just kind of screw with your opponent's hand, they're going to struggle. And they're probably the main ways to defeat a Ghatomic planet. But hopefully this archetype does do some good stuff in the competitive scene, because I'm a really big fan of it. So guys, thanks for watching this video. In the comments down below, let me know what you think of the Ghatomic archetype. I personally am really excited for it. I love the game mechanic it uses, how it's really easy to understand, but you get some really powerful stuff off with your Gi's abilities. I think it's going to be really rewarding to use in battles as well. So like I said, this will probably be coming out around March time with Cindy, which I'm still kind of working on. but I will be showing you very, very soon. Lots more brand new cards to show you in future for this base Galaxy or starter deck. I've kind of finished the Sindell deck, and it has the most brand new cards for a starter deck ever designed in the game, which is great. So very few reprints, lots and lots of good new stuff, which is fantastic. But apart from that, not got much else to say, but please like, comment and subscribe. Go get your hands on some Chaos Galaxy cards. Like I said, there'll be a link in the description below. Subscribe to Doodles Ninja 330 with his Match Battlers TCG. There'll be a link again to his channel in the description. Follow me on Instagram, which is at Chaos Galaxy TCG. And that's about it. Oh, join the Discord server if you haven't already. Again, there'll be a link in the description below, but that's where kind of the competitive Chaos Galaxy scene is based. There's loads of really friendly guys on there that know a lot about the game. Kind of scary. They know more than me about my own game. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.